She walked through the front door like she hadn't disappeared for 2 full weeks, wearing that practiced, careless smile. The one she rehearsed in the mirror when she assumed I wasn't paying attention. Her suitcase wheels tapped lightly across the floor, far too light for the weight I knew it carried. She looked sun-kissed, rested, rejuvenated. I looked at her and felt nothing except the steady, quiet calm that always settles right before a storm I've already charted out. She kissed my cheek. I let her. Then I watched her slip off her shoes, humming a tune I didn't recognize. Maybe he hummed it. Maybe she picked it up in the room they shared. The room she claimed was part of a corporate retreat and team building. 14 days, 14 nights. She didn't even bother making the lie convincing. But I didn't confront her immediately. I waited until she poured herself a glass of water, condensation sliding down her fingers like the sweat would have 2 nights ago in his bed. Not mine. She took a sip, glanced at me, and suddenly sensed the air had changed. So I asked the one question I had prepared. Do you know what illness he has? Her face cracked first, a twitch near her mouth, then her eyes widened. Not confusion, fear. Fear that I knew something she hadn't prepared for. Fear that her fantasy had consequences far beyond anything she imagined. The glass slipped from her hand. Water spread across the floor slowly, like a confession unraveling. And in that moment, I knew she understood. She thought I'd been waiting. I hadn't. I had been preparing. We met 12 years ago, back when she still believed loyalty was a virtue, not a burden. Back when she held my hand with both of hers like she feared losing me. I never thought someone who clung so tightly could let go so easily. She was ambitious, magnetic, the kind of woman who thrived on external validation. I supported her through every class, every job change, every self-development phase. I thought we were building a life brick by brick. Then came the promotion, the new team, the man she introduced as just a colleague. Too bright of a smile, too effortless of a connection. I ignored the first warning signs. The way she angled her phone away from me, late-night messages she pretended she didn't hear. A sudden enthusiasm for team bonding. Then came the cracks. She started dressing differently for work. New perfume, lighter makeup, a softness she never wore for me anymore. The unraveling became impossible to ignore the day she claimed she'd be offline for a corporate retreat. An event with no Wi-Fi. She should have known she lost me at that line. Then the message, the one she accidentally sent to me instead of him. Next time, don't forget the charger. And no, I won't sleep without you. The truth was suddenly naked in front of me. But I didn't explode. I didn't demand answers. I didn't collapse. I simply allowed my heartbeat to slow until the anger cooled into something sharper. Clarity. She had chosen a side. Now it was my turn. I didn't confront her. Confrontation gives the other person power. Silence gives it back to you. I studied her, studied him, documented every lie, every late night, every absence, every timestamp. Then I went to work. I met with a lawyer, quiet, efficient, expensive. I gathered evidence, screenshots, texts, call logs, secured assets, moved joint savings legally with documentation, prepared her downfall. I didn't pack her suitcase. I packed a case against her. While she was gone on her retreat, I anonymously contacted HR. Not lies, just the truth she tried to bury. I also visited her doctor, not to accuse, to ask carefully crafted questions about exposure, timelines, confidentiality. Enough to plant a seed. I wasn't bluffing when I asked her what illness her lover had. The panic in her eyes said she understood instantly. She ran to the doctor's office, keys rattling, breath shaking. I didn't follow. I didn't need to. By the time she returned, eyes red, hands trembling, everything had already detonated. HR had contacted her. Her job was under review. Her work husband was no longer a secret. Her reputation, the one she worshipped, was gone. Her tests were negative, of course, but fear had already done its job. She collapsed on the couch, sobbing into her hands, begging for forgiveness, reaching for me as if I were the life raft she spent months burning. I stepped back. Now you know how it feels, I said. No shouting, no insult, just truth. She shrank into herself, undone by the weight of her own decisions. 2 days later, she moved out. I signed the divorce papers without hesitation. Everything she valued, career, reputation, stability, fell apart exactly as designed. And me? I didn't feel rage, just release. Quiet, steady freedom. Because sometimes justice isn't loud. Sometimes revenge doesn't require fire. Sometimes silence is enough to end an entire world.